Hello and welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast with me, your host Gareth, and Keith, who is, well, Keith. I managed to insult you without saying a rude word.
No, I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah. Oh, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just long week at work. Blah blah blah. Da da da. Busy Friday. Busy Saturday. This morning I had a bit of a rest, but I couldn't really do anything I wanted or planned. Blah blah blah. Watched Alien Earth. Watched Dexter. Played Helldivers because the Xbox guys are now on Helldivers, which is great. They're probably all nuggets, and we're having some network issues, which is driving me nuts, like crazy. And I keep getting kicked from there because it can't connect properly.
Are you playing on Xbox?
No, I'm playing on PS5.
Okay.
I've got all my gear. I'm not redoing all my gear. You know how much gear I've got in Helldivers? I've got all but like 2 war bonds. I've almost finished one of the 2. I haven't got the Halo one yet, but I was going to get the Dust Devil one when it comes out. But
I just seen that they're releasing another. No Man's Sky. Fuck me, that game's over 10 years old. But they're releasing Voyager. Anyway, another patch that looks quite cool. You can build your own ships in this and all that. I might go back into that.
They are making another game called Light No Fire.
Yes,
Looks quite good. That. Giant Earth-shaped world, procedurally generated. Looks quite good. Watching the trailer, screams No Man's Sky. But you know, they've learnt their lessons now, and I think they're doing a good job. And I think Hello Games have got quite a lot of social capital, shall we say, when it comes to these things.
They finally properly launched GeForce Now here. And I tried that this week on Ultra because I've got like 2K monitors, and if every game just looks shit if you don't upscale it. Yeah. So I got a month's worth of Ultra. It doesn't allow any mods. So games like City Skylines 2, which you really just can't play vanilla, right? It doesn't allow. It doesn't save mods. I'm sitting there going, how can you offer a cloud gaming service that's meant to replace a cloud PC and not allow mods? It's kind of dumb.
Do what I do, use a shadow.
Well, yes, I was looking into that, but there's some speculation whether they allow mods.
No, it's a Windows PC in the cloud.
Yes, but apparently I read somewhere they don't allow mods.
Bullshit. So, it's just a PC. Whatever you can do on a PC, you can do on this. Trust me. Well, I've got some games that are not.
I was going to get you to test my Steam account and see if the mods, load the game up and then see if the game stays loaded with the mods. Because if it does, I might swap. Trouble is, you're going to get some lag with that. But
Anyway, welcome to this week's Gaming Face Punch.
Welcome to Gaming Face Punch. Well, we're scraping the barrel of the news this week. There's some stuff, but it's been a slow news week. So hey, let's talk about games. No, I'm joking. Your mic has done its usual. You flashed. What is interesting is you flashed then and then flashed back. I think it's almost sounds like it's going over to the camera mic. Are you back?
No, it's not. It's dropping to these.
Yeah.
Ever since I've updated my Mac.
Yeah, I've had some issues.
I hold off on these fucking issues. I hold off because it's like I wait 6 months and then the issues are usually gone. It was well over 6 months. I think it's like 9 or 10 months. And it's anyway. We've gone from gaming face punch to IT issues. We should start talking about joints.
Welcome to the IT support half hour.
Yeah. Do you need any SQL server issues or SAP stuff done? I'm your man.
Don't. You'll get somebody going, well, as you mentioned, right, my iPhone.
All right, before we start, I'm going to tell you a story. You probably heard this story before, but I was with Gavin in Tesco's near where I live, and we are looking around some like, games and stuff. And as we're looking around these games, this woman approaches me. She goes, "You look like you know about wireless routers." I had installed Gavin's wireless router the day before. Does it smell? Does a wireless router come with a smell? Tell me, people. Anyhow, we should really get on with some actual news. I know you said we're scraping the bottom of the barrel, but let's. Oh, actually, I'm going to start off with this one because I'm feeling funny.
You're a cunt.
I haven't played that in ages. Wendell Pierce, who plays Perry White in the new Superman film, raised eyebrows and expectations. In a recent interview with People, he teased a potential return in a rumoured Jimmy Olsen spin-off series, hinting, "I'm his boss, so he can't work without me." As DC Studio has a shit fucking quote. I'll put that fucking quote in there. Oh, it's me. As DC Studios explores expanded universe through TV, this offhand line delivers a perfect inroad to view how deeply the new DCU's values will support value supporting characters and shared settings. So, a Jimmy Olsen spin-off show.
I don't get it. I Jimmy Olsen. I mean, I've just been watching. Funny enough, been watching Superman in glorious 4K because it's on digital download. And I really don't like Jimmy Olsen's character in this. He's a bit of a knob, right? And it's funny actually. There are moments watching it again, right? CGI is terrible in places in it. I mean,
which one?
On the digital download, it's worse than in the cinema. Okay. It's really noticeable. Like when he first flies, when he first sort of goes back to the fight, when he takes off from the Fortress of Solitude, before you see him, the camera like 3D, head camera kind of shot thing following him. There's a terribly ropey. I don't know. There's a special term they call it. But it looks really bad. In fact, I would almost say that there are some effects in Harry Potter the Philosopher's Stone that hold up better than this, right? It's a really ropey shot. And then again, when he's fighting the big creature, there's some really bad CGI there. That being said, there are moments that I like. Actually, I can hear the music better in this, and I like the music. I do like every time he saves someone. I do like when he saves the squirrel. Yes. It doesn't make me. I like when he saves the dog. I forgot about that. And there are moments that I really genuinely like. I am infuriated more now by all of Lex's workers because, and I think I know why. What bugs me the most? It's like, how do you convince all these people around you to do something that's so obviously wrong? Right, it just doesn't feel. There's something inherently wrong by it. I am infuriated by the parents, but I hope you're right. I genuinely like Lois Lane. I think she was well cast. Mm-hmm. I think he's well cast as Perry White. Ironically, Perry White is one of those characters that can be played by any strong sort of male character. Doesn't really matter race or thing. So it's one of those characters that somebody like Wendell Wright could play quite easily. It doesn't think so. He works for me as Wendell Wright. But Jimmy was a bit of a knob, and the whole sort of girls fawning over him thing just doesn't. It doesn't ring right. And I know that Lex's girlfriend's a bit of a nutter, but the way he strings her along, it's a bit...
What, Lex or Jimmy?
Well, Jimmy stringing her along. I mean, I know she's a bit of a nutter, but the way Jimmy strings her along... He's not... He's a bit of a knob. So a TV series based on him, you don't want to do what Marvel did, right? Peacemaker, as a TV series, that's great. But we don't need loads of them. We don't need another one. Part of the reason, not the sole reason, but part of the reason that Marvel's gone down the toilet is because of all these Disney Plus series. So I don't need a load of DC. Build the DCU cinematic universe. Build that. Keep it to the films and give us like Peacemaker or something else along those lines every couple of years. Just something that, you know, has characters in it from the universe, but doesn't do something so much with them that you're oversaturated with it. Let us savor the films. Look forward to the films. That's part of the reason why there's apathy in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, the other part is because it's shit writing, shit characters and thing, but it's also just oversaturation with Disney Plus series. So, no, I don't agree with this.
Okay,
Took me a long time to get to that, but
yeah. I don't think a Jimmy Olsen series is what we need.
No,
I really don't. I think they should do two. I think they should do two series: one actual TV series, and one that's like a special sort of thing, where it's a small kind of mini series. We can delve into some of the side characters. So you could get Nightwing. That would be quite good to see a Nightwing TV series. That could work. Because he's got the detective elements in there. And I think that, if I remember correctly, I think Disney actually owned the TV rights to Batman, which is a pain in the ass. And that's why there hasn't been a Batman TV series, even though it would work. They could do an animated one, but they can't do a thing.
It would. I mean, you mentioned the special, and it just reminded me, because I often don't mention it when I talk about the Marvel. The one Disney Plus thing I did like was the holiday, the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, holiday special with Kevin Bacon. That was genuinely quite good, right? And you know, again, that was what's his face. So maybe doing like a holiday special here and there. I just think I don't think we need a Jimmy. I don't think we need those TV series right now from the DCU. I think Peacemaker's fine. You know, having Peacemaker on Max, that's fine. I
think maybe a more family-friendly show might be something with a bit more broader appeal. Might work a little better.
But do we need it, or do we wait for the films?
No, just something to tie you over, to keep the idea of DC and the DC universe in your head, if that makes any sense. It's like advertising. Sounds a weird way of describing it. It's advertising. And if people get invested in it and they like it, then they'll turn up to watch your next one. I did find something on a rumour about who's they're thinking about casting as Batman. But until we hear something, I'm going to keep my gob shut. Because I wouldn't have cast him as Batman.
Oh, hang on. Who have you heard? Because I read something somewhere.
Oh, I can't remember his name now. I can picture him, but I can't remember the name. But yeah, I'm staying away from that. I don't trust it. So yeah. But it's Jimmy Olsen TV series. Really?
I'm not. I mean, I like, as I said, I quite like Wendell Pierce. I mean, I've liked him in a lot of things. He was great in Suits towards the end. I mean, he was good in Jack Ryan as a different version of Greer. But we didn't get enough of the Daily Planet as the Daily Planet in the Superman movie. We didn't get enough of Clark. But the thing is, if you're going to do a Jimmy Olsen series, you've got to have Clark in it. Or, you know...
How about this? How about Mr. Terrific TV series?
Yes, that could work.
I think that would work more than any others.
Yeah.
And you could have the others turn up from time to time, which make it a bit more interesting. But I don't think it will work. I think you might be overextending yourself, and you might be watering down stuff. And you might do the same shit that Disney's done with Marvel. They put out a load of stuff. The difference is, I think it would be because James Gunn's rule is we have to have a script before we start shooting, which is a perfectly logical one. Yeah, it's very simple, very easy to follow, but somehow, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to our next story, shall we? That's yeah.
Women, know your limits.
That one's for you, Keith. Nearly 4 decades after Gremlins 2, the new batch, fans are eager for a third mischievous adventure, and the series is itching closer and closer to that reality. Chris Columbus, the original Gremlins writer, confirmed that multiple scripts are in the works, though none have officially been greenlit yet. But he and his executive producer Steven Spielberg remain adamant that Gremlins 3 will only move forward if the story genuinely honours the original legacy. I like that. Only capitalising on nostalgia, but not only capitalising on nostalgia. Meanwhile, original star Zach Galligan, yes, revealed that the script now exists and is poised for Spielberg's approval, a pivotal step towards production. And if Spielberg says it's going to happen, it's probably going to happen.
It's interesting. Lego have announced the Lego model of Gizmo this week, and the advert they did was original music and like very much styled after the little sort of clips from the original film, but in Lego. And they've brought out a Lego, as I said, they're bringing out a Lego Ideas Gizmo. And I just thought the timing was interesting. I mean, we briefly spoke about this. I'm interested in it. This is not the only script that's pushing around. There is now confirmed Goonies 2 script, and part of that is down to the fact, and I cannot remember his name, but the Asian guy who Kwong something
Data
who was in the original Goonies was one of the reasons they didn't want to bring it back is they didn't want to do it without him, and apparently he's on board. I love the Goonies. I am a huge, massive fan of the Goonies.
But if you redid the Goonies, you have to have them,
yes,
and then have their kids go out and do it, and then
yes,
have them worry and rush around and try and chase after them and stuff, try and get them back. Yeah,
yes,
that would be a much. That's the kind of that would be in thing with it. You couldn't. Well, you could do them out and having an adventure themselves, but it would be a bit on the weird side.
But part of the thing about the Goonies is there's quite a lot of swearing in the Goonies, because it was the 1980s, and there was a lot of humour from my childhood in there that you would not get away with in this supposedly clean. Oh, we can't fucking swear in front of our children or show them anything bad. Kind of thing. Are you
talking about the Truffle Shuffle?
The Truffle Shuffle is, legendary.
You couldn't get over that today.
It's
not very positive. It's fucking hilarious.
No, you wouldn't. But that is what I mean. There's that. I mean, and he's, what's his face says shit, and he says a couple of other bad words, and
then you've got the penis on the statue.
Yes,
remember that at the beginning?
Yes,
that's my mum's favourite bit.
I love it. But you've got to have that as part. You've got to have kids actually being kids, right? And I am a huge fan of the Goonies, and there is a part of me that would love to see another one, but I think they'll ruin it right now. And this is what I'm kind of a bit like with Gremlins as well. I love Gremlins 1 and 2. I mean, Gremlins 2 I'm fucking forever quoting. Every time my wife turns on my wife has a habit of turning on like lights in the middle of the night, and even now I go, bright light. I mean, it is my go-to quote. And every time I hear Frank Sinatra's New York, New York, all I can see is that goddamn gremlin singing it. And I mean, Gremlins 2, there are so many things in Gremlins 2, and so many little cameos and everything. And again, there is a part of me would love to see a Gremlins 3, but I don't trust Hollywood. And you have destroyed so much of my or you've bought things from my childhood and basically treated them with massive disrespect. I do not care if you like The Last Jedi. It is disrespectful to the legacy that's of Star Wars and to people who grew up with these guys as their heroes, making Luke Skywalker suck milk out of a tit. Fuck you, Ryan. Fuck you. Because that's disrespectful that's disrespectful to millions of people's childhoods, belittling their heroes because you wanted to do something different. You know, Hollywood at the moment, Hollywood's always been about egos, but there's a selfish to it now. I mean, and they don't learn from their mistakes. Who's that stupid, weird-looking girl that's in The Last of Us?
Oh, Bella Ramsey.
Do you know she's come out this week and gone, Gareth, get this right, get this, you know, if you don't like it, don't watch it. That's worked so well for you, Hollywood, since, you know, currently. I mean, how many people have said that, and how many people have turned around and not watched it? Ooh, Newty Gatwa said it. What did everybody do? Not fucking watch it.
That happened with the reboot of Charlie's Angels. It's like, if your men are not interested, don't go and watch it, and men didn't turn up and watch it. And actually, ironically, when they checked the demographics of the audience, more men still watched it than women, because women weren't interested in that. Women are interested in things like, sounds awful, Barbie. Because lots of women turned up for Barbie, and I know because I took my friend from work to go and see it, because she was like, kind of, go on, dress up in something pink and blah blah blah. And she, you know how it's like when you goad me into something, kind of go, fuck it, I'll do it. Yeah, no matter how crazy it is. She did that to me for Barbie, and we went there and watched Barbie, and there were lots of women in there, and it was great because she walked out of that film and went, didn't make any fucking sense when you got to the end. And I was like, oh, thank God it wasn't me. Maybe it was a male thing. No, it's just a general thing. But I think if Steven Spielberg's attached to it, it's got a hope. It has a hope. Outside that, and they said the one thing that always makes me go, oh, I like that. It needs to fit in. It's not going to be a reboot or a remake or reimagining. Yeah, it needs to fit in with the two previous films. So that's respecting the source material. We always talk about respecting the source material when it comes to these things.
But I mean, yes, and you're right. And I mean, we'll talk about, because we're going to talk about Star Trek in a minute, because I wanted to mention something again. The problem in Hollywood at the moment is they don't respect the source material. So you're right, there is hope there, and because they pay no respect, they think they have opinion of people that they'll just suck it up, and there are people that just will suck it up. But there will be the people like you and I who genuinely love these things, who genuinely remember these with fondness and you know, we're geeks. We grew up with shit like this.
I was gonna say it's
Don't
ironic
fuck with it.
Talking about Gremlins, considering that we're going to be talking about Space Nine past tense.
True.
Yep. Yeah. If you said Gareth do Gremlins, I would go back to World War II and do a World War II version of Gremlins. I would really go back and do a World War II version of Gremlins, because that's where that whole thing came from. And Roald Dahl wrote a story about it, and I'm sure, I haven't read the story, but I'm sure there's enough material in there to make it work. But it'd be interesting. Anyway, I think it's time we moved on to our next story. Hang on a second.
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something.
I love that guy.
Michelle Yeoh, iconic Captain Philippa Georgiou has recently addressed an overwhelming negative response to Star Trek Section 31. With a critic score of 22% on Rotten Tomatoes and just a 16% on the popcorn meter, Yeoh has acknowledged that areas of the film could have been improved, praised its visuals, its ensemble chemistry, its diplomatically reminded fans it's very hard to please all your audience, which is true. Nuanced take reflects both her pride in production team and the realistic look at the challenges of honouring the Star Trek legacy whilst venturing into darker territories. You went so dark, you went away from it.
Here's the thing,
That's
right? Like, Michelle Yeoh, classy woman, never really talks about politics. I genuinely do like her in a lot of things that she's in. She's basically said it's shit. In other articles, she's come out and said there's things that she could have done better. She is she's self-deprecating. She puts herself down. She doesn't criticize anybody else. But you know, she says it. But the one thing is like, you can't please everyone. I agree with you, but you should absolutely please more than 16% of your audience.
I think when she turns around, she said she praised the visuals, so she thinks that the special effects people did a good job.
We praised the visuals.
Hang on a second. She praised the chemistry, yeah, and the production crew. And do you know what that sounds like? She praised everyone but the writer and the director. Yes. The writer and director are the ones wrong. So that's like kind of we just check check where the gap is. Oh, the gap is there.
I mean, you and I have always said, you know, you can say what you like about Discovery, and we say a lot. Fucking looks good. And it always has. And you know, Discovery looks fucking brilliant. The effects in Discovery are very, very good. I do not like Strange New Worlds, how dark they make the ships, but it's a minor, you know, thing in the fact, again, the special effects sets design. I'm not a big fan of the set design, but they look good, right? They've built amazing looking sets. I just think they're too big for a ship, but that's a personal Starship porn thing.
But you know, the Enterprise D was fucking huge, don't you?
Yes. I've got the blueprints.
There were empty decks on that ship where no one was.
Yes, but the rooms that you see, but when you see, like, yes, they had luxurious spaces, but you know, Picard's sort of living quarters were smaller than fucking Pike's kitchen. Right? Don't get me started on Pike's ready room. But here's the thing, right? Every now and then they bring up a clip of Picard season 3. And I watch it and I'm reminded, it's just like they play the music from Star Trek 2 in the background when Picard first goes back onto the Enterprise D, and there's these little subtleties in Picard season 3 that you know that the people are making this love what they're doing and loved the show before. Because it's those little things, it's those little, we don't need big explosions, we don't need obscure fucking references back to like single episodes going, oh, they'll love this, I remember when, they'll love this, oh, let's do that fucking, you know, that one episode in the original series about that dude that had that special time game, we'll make him turn up again. Or what about if we, you know, that dude, that, because they all talk about that could be cute, let's do that. We don't need that shit, right? We need you to love what you're doing. We need people who understand our love of the show, share our passion for the show. Because when you do that, when you get one person who has a passion for it, you immediately win us over. And that, it doesn't have to be perfect, and Picard season 3 is not fucking perfect, but it's those little touches, those little things in there. And I watched it again just going, this is so good. It's good because I know the guy that's making this feels the same way about these people as I do. That's all you need to do. When you buy these properties, just put somebody in there that loves it. Because the difference that it makes is phenomenal. And you see it. You watch Picard season 2 and you watch Picard season 3, and the difference is night and fucking day. And yes, the normies might not swap it, but you will, you know, normies will always like Discovery. Normies will, for some fucking strange reason, still like Strange New Worlds, right? And I do not understand it. But there's a lot of us out there, and you don't want you want to make money. You need to win us over. Just put somebody in there that loves it. Put one of us there. One of us that has passion for these things. God, if you'd done that with Star Wars, Disney, if you'd done that with Star Wars, if you Paramount, if you'd done that with Star Trek, if you had Metalis running this fucking thing, you'd be having people hand over fist watching Star Trek now. It'll be one of the most popular shows on TV. Picard season 3, look at how well it did, and you squandered that. And then you gave us fucking Section 31. Not even the Discovery lot liked Section 31. 16%.
They don't understand it. They shouldn't be put in charge of it. That's it.
They can't write what they don't know. I mean, this week in Strange New Worlds, right? Ortega's brother turns up, and he's an influencer, but he's a today influencer, right? And I swear to God, this line was in it, right? He apologizes because he's got a thing going with that terrible actress that plays Uhura, and she's just totally miscast as the character, right? She is an insult to Michelle. What's her face?
Michelle Nichols.
I mean, huge insult. I mean, he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I've been so busy lately with editing." 22nd century, Gareth. 20. Oh, I'm so big. They talk. I mean, I was watching something. I think it was Dave Cullen, and I don't always agree with him, right? And I disagree with him about because he said this week he prefers Star Trek 1 over Star Trek 2. Shut up! You can't claim to be a Star Trek fan, Dave, and then say that Star Trek 1 is better. You can't, right? But anyway,
I can see there is an appeal to it. There is it has this very grandiose
Star
scale.
Trek 2 is still the better movie, but
it's still a better movie.
But one thing that I agree with Dave Cullen on is like when you watch like Deep Space Nine, Next Generation, and Voyager, they have an almost. It's not Shakespearean, but he used that as a way, an analogy. There's a Shakespearean language. There's a way that they talk, right? And it's not otherworldly, but it's not quite.
It's intelligent and proper.
But it's more than that. There's a. It doesn't fit in with today's standards. So when you get characters like Tom Paris who are obsessed with the 20th century and get it slightly wrong, it works so much better. These characters all talk like Gen Z, right? And they're self-obsessed, right? And seriously, I was too busy editing. Fucking AI is going to be doing all the editing soon anyway.
Computer, change it to 30 seconds, spruce up the thing and make sure they don't look like shit.
And the way this kid is dressed and the way he's talking, he's like one of these Gen Z fucking YouTubers and it just, you're sitting there watching it going, and you just groan. And they don't understand Vulcans. They haven't got a fucking clue. Because this week's episode was the one where they changed into Vulcans, and it was dreadful. It was badly acted. And it was just dreadful.
They already done that? I thought they'd already done that.
No, they've shown clips for it, but it was actually. But there's not been a single serious episode this season. They've gone full into the quirkiness, and Strange New Worlds has had at least 1 or 2 episodes that felt like Trek. Season 1 was where it was Pike on the bridge, and it was that submarine style episode. It was quite good, right? And then season 2, we had the season final that felt quite Trek-like, and there was a couple of bits. None of that this season. We've had space zombies, fucking people acting like Vulcans that the writers clearly don't understand. Writers, and the one fucking episode that might have been actually quite interesting, they completely ballsed that up by putting in all this crap, right? And all they're doing is they're going for the gimmick episodes. We don't need another season of this shit. We don't need Academy. Just make the fucking shows that people want to see, right? This audience that you're making these shows for doesn't exist. And God knows who the fuck they thought the audience was for Section 31. Because they clearly didn't exist. Yeah. How are these people with the 22%, right? 22% Rotten Tomatoes rating of modern critics and a 16% thing. How is this guy being given God knows how much money to make Academy? Who is trusting him?
I think he announces it and then he goes, well, you've got to make it now. People know about it. And I think that's what he's been doing. That's what I genuinely think he's been doing. But
that's, I mean, look, he's a fucking Muppet, but the people above him are also fucking Muppets.
Well, they're changing.
Because
they're changing. So we will stay here because they cancelled Dexter Original Sin, which we reported on last week.
Yes.
And if they've done that, there's a good chance that they're going to wind up killing Star Trek in its current state.
They've got to.
Yeah. Part of me thinks that they might just sell it off as a singular property to someone.
Well, the guy
make some money.
the guy that's head now, like Star Trek, but he apparently is rumoured to favour movies. But the movies are not going to work right now. No one's going to go and see a Star Trek movie. Give us Legacy. Make Legacy. Give us a couple of seasons of that. Trust me. Then make a Star Trek movie. Because people will go. People will remember loving Star Trek again. Just like they did when they watched Picard Season 3. Remember that they loved Star Trek. And then when, like, Terry Mataska's got this great idea for a series called Legacy, bring back a load of the characters, but, move the story forward. Everyone's like, really want that? Nothing. Cancel all of this shit. Use that. Make a big budget Star Trek Legacy series. Bring back the cast. Give us new characters. But move the story along. But give us those cameos, right? 2 seasons of that. You fill the fucking cinemas. Because people will remember. They will.
Yeah. Not necessarily cinemas if you're making TV, Keith.
No, but the guy he wants to make movies. He's interested in making Star Trek movies. Right now, ain't going to work.
Okay. On that note.
All right, Gold Member. Don't play the laughing boy. There are only 2 things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch.
What?
Warner Brothers have officially postponed Mortal Kombat 2 from its original release of October 24, 2025 to its new release date, launching summer May 15th, 2026. The decision isn't due to production setbacks or reshoots, far from it. Instead, it's a strategic move. The sequel's Red Band trailer broke records with 107 million global views, and early test screenings have been strong. The studio seeks to heighten the audience buzz and positive reception with the studio sees the heightened audience buzz and positive reception as a perfect springboard into a summer movie, positioning it for maximum impact or profit. Yeah, because I think both of us watched that and went, "No, looks like Billy Butcher fighting bloody Scorpion or whatever." And
but the thing was, the first one, right? Everybody put it down as a B movie, and it kind of was. But everybody goes, "Yeah, it's one of those crappy movies that we just kind of love." And I looked at that first movie and went, "This ain't going to win any awards." It's really entertaining, and I really quite liked it, right? Yeah. And I saw the trailer to this. It's kind of like more of the same, but with Billy Butcher. And I went, "Yeah, I'm going to enjoy this." It's one of those things that people don't really admit to. Go, what? More combat? Yeah, that was that shooty film, but you liked it. Yeah, I did. I loved it. I mean, it was a crappy movie. There was some bad ropey acts in it, but it was generally a good bad movie. Yes,
it was. It was. I like the fight sequences were done quite well.
Yeah,
the casting was reasonably well, with the exception of crowbarring and a whole new character. You're right.
The right level of cheese.
It was also quite respectful in comparison to the other movies and whatnot. It's good.
I'm gutted because I was really looking forward to seeing it, but I kind of understand why they've done it. Because it has had quite a lot of people have gone, "Yeah, I want to see this." Which again, are you paying attention, Hollywood? What is in this trailer? Men kicking ass and being a bit cheesy. 107 million. That ain't all men. Trust me. So, I mean, again, there's nothing wrong in making male-orientated movies, because arguably Aquaman was a male-orientated movie and was the Snyder Universe's most successful film. And it wasn't the men that made it the most successful movie.
It was the mums taking the kids. Because we're going to watch Aquaman again, little Timmy. I don't want to watch Aquaman. Because, come on, little Timmy, we're watching Aquaman. Yes. Why? It's like, yeah, that's... I could make some... I'm not going to make any comments.
I was just going to say replace Timmy with the name Dexter, and it probably rings true.
Oh, dude, it's still. That fucking picture of my wife and Jason Momoa drives me fucking nuts when it pops up in my feed. It really does. It's just the both of them look really happy. It's like, fuck off, Jason.
I know. My wife had a picture not that long ago with a rather handsome Thai superstar, and I was like, now I know how he feels. So
wait until it pops up in your fucking memories, Keith.
Oh, it does.
Oh, do you remember the time that?
No, fuck off. Still going to wind everybody out with we were very happy.
Jason, I just like to point out, Jason Momoa was very happy to see my wife, but Joe Flanagan was very happy to see me. Just saying.
I am slightly gutted, but on the other hand, as I said, I understand Warner Brothers' move. It deserves to be a summer movie. It's actually what summer movies should be. Summer movies should be silly. Summer movies should be great, big popcorn, silly, fast food films. That's what summer movies should be, right? And I think F1 kind of nailed that, and F1 has now officially is the highest grossing movie of the 2025 summer season.
Right, so let's get this right. The Apple movie that they had to release in cinema for reasons, and one of the reasons is so they could get Brad Pitt on board, is the one that really shouldn't have been in the cinema, is the best one in the cinema.
Yeah, it's global takings have overtaken Superman. It is Brad Pitt's highest grossing film of all time. And it is now the most popular movie of the summer season, and it deserves to be, because it is it's got everything. It is a good summer movie.
You've been an F1 fan, Keith. Have they changed the F1 theme to the one from the movie? Because I saw the advert for it
for one episode, but no, then one and then it went back again. You're right, they did, and it went back again. It was back to the proper one yesterday for the opening. But it's funny you played that Dutch clip, because it's the Dutch Grand Prix this weekend, and they were. There's two type of Dutch people, right? There are the people that Michael Caine refers to, but there's also really polite Dutch. I remember the first time I went to Amsterdam, right? And if you were in London and somebody came up to you asking you for money, you're always a bit thing. I remember the first time, must have been in Amsterdam for about 6 hours, and there was this guy who comes up to me and goes, "Excuse me, sir, can I spare some of your time? As you can see, I am living on the streets right now, and I have not got a lot of money, and I need a little bit of help. Would you mind sparing some money for me?" And I was just like, "Yes, have my money. You're so polite." And they were interviewing like these Max Verstappen fans yesterday, but they were like elderly, like polite Dutch people who say, "We are the Max Verstappen fans," and it's like, "Oh, I hate who you support, but you're so nice." And then you get the other kind of Dutch.
It's like Finns. You get two types of Finns. You get the Swedish Finns and the Russian Finns. But don't tell the Russian Finns that they're the Russian Finns, because they go,
Every time you say Finland, I have this urge to go, no, not a Finland.
I'll have to add that to our little board. Let's pick. Let's have that.
Well.
In a heartfelt turn for longtime fans, Alan Cummings is coming back as Nightcrawler in Avengers Doomsday, calling the experience really healing. Filming his latest installment offered a welcome contrast to his miserable time working on X2 X-Men United. At the age of 60, Cummings surprised himself with the ability not only to suit up again, but even perform stunts, all whilst wrapping his scenes efficiently. He's returned to representing the healing reunions between the characters, who many thought... he's supposed to be a one-off character, basically, guys. My mouth ain't working, but he had what I can describe as an Ian McKellen in the Hobbit experience when filming the X-Men, Doomsday. And it's the fact that he is filming and he has no idea who's fucking acting alongside. He has been isolated in a little green booth and they're filming after. I don't want to sound rude or anything. I don't think that Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers know what they're fucking doing if that's the case. Because it didn't seem that way when we had Infinity War, and it didn't seem that way when we had Endgame. And those are the last two really big ones that they've done. No one complained that they were off on their own, doing their own thing, talking to themselves in a green room or talking to a stranger in a green room. And I have no idea why they are making it this way. Actually, no, I have an idea. They haven't got a script. They said, Doomsday, that'd be a good idea. We'll just do Battle World. Yeah?
I agree with you. What is interesting is that article mentions, and he has mentioned in a clip, which has not yet been announced officially, is that it mentions Hugh Jackman. Which is no surprise. We know that Wolverine's going to be in this movie.
We know that Deadpool's going to be in the movie too.
Yeah, you cannot seriously put all of the X-Men in there and not put Wolverine. Wolverine is the X-Men. Right. It's like, you just can't do it. But it's interesting that this article mentions him. I mean, we know he's coming back. He's one of the only ones that's just not been mentioned, but we know he's coming back. And we know that fucking Chris Evans as Captain America is in it as well, right? That's the worst kept secret in Hollywood, by the way.
Do you know what would be really good is if they filmed Doomsday and Secret Wars, and then they just did a Deadpool, where you get to see what Deadpool was doing during the entire thing. And he's like running around in the background doing like what looks like inane shit, but there might be a few unexplained bits inside those films, and all of a sudden it makes a bit more sense when you watch the Deadpool.
There's your holiday special, a Deadpool holiday special. That could be it. That's what you should do. That's what you should use Disney Plus for. It's a great idea. But I mean, look, I always liked Nightcrawler. I liked Nightcrawler. I know he didn't have a good time filming the movie, but I kind of like Alan Cummings. I always kind of have. I loved him in Goldeneye. He was so freaking wonderfully camp in that film. And he was good as Nightcrawler. He was. And I mean, I know he's said a few things in recent times, but I kind of like him as an actor. And I'm looking forward to seeing him back as Nightcrawler, even though I think the film's going to be a disaster. I'm looking forward to seeing him back. I'm also looking forward to seeing Channing Tatum carry on as Gambit, because Channing Tatum was really cool in Deadpool 3.
I just love the just spouting fucking nonsense.
Yes.
It's like I came on my daddy's balls, ready? I had no idea what you're fucking saying.
But that's what made it even more funny. And it's that clip you played, my name is Jeff. He sounded a bit, it just works. It just works. But I have a feeling it's going to be terrible. But
yeah, now
cool
the more I hear about the kind of mess in the background, if it's messy in the background, it's going to be really fucking messy in the foreground.
Yep.
So yeah,
too much studio interference. The problem is until you get rid of Iger, until you really get rid of the top of Disney, Disney's not going to recover. And it's all well and good Disney coming out going, we need to bring men back. It's because you've been making movies for an audience that does not exist for the last 10 years, right? And the person that spearheaded that is Bob Iger, right? And Kathleen Kennedy. You have got to fire these people, right? Disney shareholders, if you have enough to get into a vote for a meeting, for fuck's sake, fire it. Because your shares are going to do this. Disney can come out and go, we need to win men back, but you actually have to win them back. And the only way you do that is by replacing the managers that have led you down this dark path. That is Iger, that is Kennedy. To a certain extent, I actually now think that might be Feige as well.
I think it's Feige. Ever since Captain Marvel, I've looked at him going, oh no. Yeah, and those people that stood over him and caused him to consider his choices. Yeah, that I can't remember what they call it, the creative board of Marvel, whatever it was. They were there for a reason, and they worked. And then you removed them, and then everything stopped working. You need to put them back in place, and because they're these people who's like, kind of, hang on a second, you're spending how much On this, yeah, and it's like, dude, we could think of it like this: if you're aiming towards kids, you want them to buy a toy of this bloody thing, yeah, and they've got to be popular and this, that, and the other.
You got to put budget caps on these movies. It forces people to be creative. I mean, I can't remember who said it. Somebody said it recently. I saw it in an interview that Marvel just had an unlimited budget, and as soon as you have that, everything got crap. You've got to put the right people in. As I said, you've got to put the people in that love this. Now, I know that Feige is a bit of a Marvel fan, and I would fire Kennedy and Iger before I fired Feige, if I'm being honest, because Kennedy doesn't love Star Wars. She doesn't. Right? I would fire her ass. I'd fire Iger because he's a fucking idiot. And then, maybe give Feige a couple, under new management and see how he gets on. But like you said, re-establish those things that worked in the past. Start making movies for the audience that exists, not the audience that you want to exist. Tell your stars to shut the fuck up on social media, right? Stop talking about politics, because there's enough of that on the fucking news. We don't need our movie stars, our entertainment, our escapisms to talk about that. We just need you to help us escape, right? So actors, actresses, shut the fuck up. That's not your job. If you want that to be your job, stop acting.
And here's my reply.
Oh, smooth.
Oh, you noticed? You noticed? I was trying to do it so you didn't notice.
I noticed. I noticed the smoothness.
No. So, the Twitch chat is working, and I'm so glad that Echo's not in there, because she likes to spam the twat. Spam the twat. Spam the chat.
What channel does she make?
No, she's just no.
That's an interesting channel.
So Paul was in here first, so he gets a gold medal, and then we've got Spiffer, who's in his second, gets silver for that. Get a Windows streaming machine. Oh yeah, I've got.
I hear you. The trouble is bandwidth here, but I thought I read that the Windows machine streaming services also have banned Paradox mods, because I'm trying to play City Skylines too, and I need the mods. And
they haven't banned the mods. It's just a PC, and you can do whatever you want with it.
Okay,
I'll show you after this.
Yep, I'll try it.
All right.
Okay.
And then so we got that there, and then yes, it's pronounced router, and it's a route that you take. Yeah.
Router.
Router. I don't know where you're getting router from.
Yes. Router. Australians. Data. Maths.
Yes.
Maths.
Maths. You do more than one fucking sum.
And tap. Not faucet. Don't know where you got that from. Tap.
Tana says she's got issues with.
Bing. Sorry.
Tana says she's having issues with YouTube not working. Oh, hang on a second. Steve's in. Hi, Steve.
Hiya, Steve. I have been checking our YouTube, just making sure it was localized rather than general. But hi, Steve. How you doing? Chuck and Laurie are not here this week. They are in the land of fire and ice.
Iceland.
They are.
Iceland. They've got on a first-class flight. And I saw the image that they put up there, so I'm hoping they're having a good time.
They are. They're off to the place you went. Where you.
Reykjavik.
The bath. Yes, but they went. They're going up to the.
To the spa.
Yes.
Oh, Blue Lagoon.
Yes.
So yeah, Angel's in, and he's late, but he made it.
Hi, Angel.
And then, yes, Gareth owns a pink t-shirt he wore it to the Barbie movie. Yes. My friend messages me every so often, and it's like kind of, what do you call it? She can't wait for the next film to come out, because she'll come back from India, and we'll go and watch it together. Very expensive cinema trip. No. Put the R and the O and the U together.
Router.
Roo. And then ter.
Router.
R-O-U. Router. Not router.
That-
Where the fuck have you split it? Why have you
It's
split
alright.
it like
It's alright.
that? Why have you
They
done it
speak.
like... You fucking idiots. What's wrong with
Because
you?
they speak
You set
American.
it on fire.
It's like, they speak American. It's all right. We speak English. They speak American. It's fine.
It's like the joke about German comedians. You know about the joke about German comedians?
Yeah,
It's no
go on,
laughing
tell it.
matter. No, seriously, it's no laughing matter. We were very happy. Oh, crikey. Oh, we didn't go to Blue Lagoon. We went to... we went to Sky... All right, Sky Lagoon. Sky
That's
Lagoon.
the one. That's what they called it. Sorry. Yeah.
That's the one where they had the eruption in the car park and the lava went shit in the car park. Did you see the
Nice.
pictures? I don't know if they've repaired the car park and they might not be able to get space. Anyway.
It was Sky Lagoon that he mentioned because he specifically mentioned that you had been there. So,
Sky Lagoon.
yeah, he is going there. What have we got?
One trailer this week. I looked at it. One trailer this week and I watched it and I was debating whether I should have put it on there or not. Yeah. And then I was like, do I, don't I? And then it's like kind of, I looked at it and went, actually, I quite like the look of this. So I'm going to play it.
Something's happened here. Something
Film
really,
based
really
on the
bad.
game, right?
Yeah.
Hold the darkness, you can't keep it away.
Please don't go any further. You don't know what kind of hell you have to face.
Oh, double fuck, Gareth.
Yes.
Wasn't the PT
So-
demo based on a Silent Hill?
It's supposed to be the start of Silent Hills, which was going to be, like, I think it was supposed to go into houses and try and solve the mystery of what happened in the houses. And this Silent Hill film looks like it's based off the second game, which probably would have made the better choice to make a film out of initially, because there was no like through line. It was quite self-contained. And when you play the game, Silent Hill knows your sins and all your dirty secrets, and it pulls them out. And all those little monsters that you've got in, it manifests them as real monsters. So where they have Pyramid Head in the first and that last film that they did, yeah, that wasn't supposed to be there, because Pyramid Head is supposed to represent a surgeon. And James, who was in the thingy, had a wife who was dying of cancer, and he was dealing with surgeons and doctors and everything, yeah. And the half pair of scissors is supposed to be like a scalpel sort of thing. It also explains where you see the nurses too, because he's seeing the nurses, yeah. And he also sees the nurses, and he kind of sees them, and they kind of represent the more darker side of him, because he's looking at them in like a sexual fashion. But his wife's like fucking dying in the other room. So Silent Hill manifests something like that to match, and it was kind of missed in those last two films, and it looks like they may have paid attention to it. The downside is when they remade the game, they didn't pay attention to that logic. So when Booper Team, wherever it was, remade the game, they didn't do that logic. But if they do it right, should be scary, should be good. The guy who's done it, who did the very first Silent Hill film, has turned around and goes, you know what? I've learnt my lesson. I want another go at it. I actually genuinely want another go at it. The two ones that you can make a really good film on when it comes to Silent Hill was probably 2 and The Room. It's ironic because The Room wasn't made by the Silent Hill... Well, it wasn't primarily made by the Silent Hill team as a Silent Hill game. And it's a story of a guy locked in a room. It's ironic. He's locked in a room, but there's a hole in his bathroom. If he crawls through it, he winds up in other places, like... what's it? Alice going down in the rabbit hole sort of thing. And then you get... I'm going to ruin part of it, because you get towards the 2/3 into the game, and it's you're not locked in the room. Someone's locked the room so someone else can't get into the room. And then when you find out that, then the game then kind of changes, and it's done really well. And those two ones are little self-contained stories which you can do quite well. And it looks like they're they're going to do that with this. As long as they get the idea of the Angela character, the wife character, and the thingy character. The downside is that Silent Hill, if you've played it all the way through, is depressing as fuck when you find out why everything happens. Yeah, when you get to that hotel room, you find that special place that you're told to go to, and then you go, oh no, that's not good. And then you realise that you've not been seeing the same monsters, and the little girl that's running around the town pretending everything's fine because she can't see any fucking monsters because she never did anything wrong, so it can't manifest any of her fears or sins or anything like that, which was always something that kind of got me. And the fog is like not being able to see and not being able to quite comprehend it right, and it's a really good idea. But I hope that this will work, and I hope this Christoph Gans, I can't remember if his name was Vincent Gans, whatever his name is, will be good for the game. But yes.
It looks interesting. I'm not a horror movie fan, as you know, but Kojami, was it?
Konami.
Sorry. Kojami. Konami. It's a Konami game, is it?
Yeah, it's a Konami game.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a Konami game. It was Konami's answer to what do you call it? Resident Evil. But they went much more down the psychological horror rather than jump scare sort of thing, which worked really well.
They always were a bit like that with all of their games. They've just re-released Metal Gear Solid 3, haven't they?
They have, and it's buggy as fuck at the moment. So if you're gonna get it, I'll wait a month for the bugs to go, or wait for it to drop in price. There's lots of like frame drops and stuff on it. The game looks fantastic when it works, but it's just that technical thing. So just wait, and then you can then go from there. So we've got stuff to talk about. Alien Earth, you only watched up to part 3.
Yes, I have at the moment.
So you didn't see the eyeball creature do the eyeball thing this week?
No, but I heard about it.
That's going to make you go.
And I heard that Wendy can kind of talk to the xenomorphs, or she hears them, or she can communicate with them, or something is hinted at.
She can hear them, but it's not. I don't know what it is with that at the moment.
How do you feel after episode 4? Because you're kind of my gauge in this.
It has dramatically slowed down. Yeah, the whole thing. It went into the big that first bit. It was fine. Certain things were forgiven because it was trying to get you in there, get you to feel for it, and then it looked like it's going to be a bit more exciting. There's a lot more kind of secrets and stuff in there, but it has dramatically slowed down. But they're now setting stuff up. So they're setting up the eyeball creature to get into someone, yeah, because it's like kind of you've got I can't remember his name now. Timothy Oliphant's character, and he goes, "It's watching us." Yeah, you noticed what it did. It's all of a sudden, and it's like you can see it looking the sheep that it's infected, looking through the gaps at them. It's watching us. It's trying to figure out what it can do. Yeah, it's clever. And then you've got they've just grown their first thing that happened at the end of episode 3. They're going to get out because that's all they ever do, which would be funny to watch when they start tearing through people like cardboard and whatnot, and they'll be trapped on that island. Well, they think they'll be trapped on that island. I don't know if fucking things can swim. But I don't know. I think that there's certain things going on there. It's pointing towards stuff. I think that the Timothy Oliphant character is going to kill the Boy Cavalier character. I think that he's going to kill him, and then the eyeball thing might hijack his corpse, because it can do corpses as well as live things. It prefers live bodies, but it'll do a corpse if it has to. So that's quite an interesting thing. You've got one of the androids, Nibs. She's malfunctioning. She is fucked. She's not working. They're now having to like kind of put in like a protocol to kind of shut her down. And it's still interesting. Not as good as it was at the beginning, but it's interesting, and I am enjoying it. And it's worth watching on a Wednesday, and it's nice because I watch it with my son because he loves aliens, and it's kind of fat. You remember when we used to watch Doctor Who with the family around the TV?
Yeah.
I'm doing that, but with this. So that's,
I get it. It's good that you can share something. You're my gauge into this as whether I'll carry on watching it, and I'll let you know at the end of the season.
I think it's going to have payoffs towards the end. I really genuinely
I think you're probably right. I compare it, funny enough, to Foundation, which the first 2 seasons start off really strong, slow down in the middle, build up to something. And that felt like that in episode 3. It slowed down. And I feel like, okay, we're going to have a few slow episodes and it's going to build up to something. And I mean, actually, this Foundation season 3, I mean, I know Biffa keeps mentioning it in the comments, so I'll mention it. I've really enjoyed season 3. In fact, this week's episode was fucking fantastic. Because the mule finally comes face to face with the holographic what's his face, Jared Harris's character. He finally comes face to face with the holographic version of him, right? And last week they pulled a bit of a blind. I'm going to spoil this slightly for you, but it's fucking fantastic. The mule has been this character that you get his backstory. So you find out that his parents tried to kill him because the parents lived on a Foundation planet that had a single child policy, and you see that the Foundation has become quite corrupt, and the parents are basically forced into, because they got no money, and they're meant to pay a fine, and anyway they don't want their baby daughter taken away, so they try to kill the son. And it's at this point he discovers he has powers, and they get awakened, and the mule becomes the mule. So you feel some sympathy for him, but he's never been scared of anything. And then they come across Harry, and Harry's woken up, and Harry doesn't seem to be aware of the mule's existence. He doesn't fit into the sort of plan, or into the future that's been predicted. So Harry looks panicked and then sort of like disappears. And then he turns up at the end of last episode and he still looks a bit panicked. And then you've got a mule, and his mule's sort of going around him and everything like that. And and Harry's looking pretty panicked. And then all of a sudden, Harry pounces. Harry turns on the null field that fucking lifts the mule off the ground. It's like, I'm not really scared of you. You can't read my brain. And then for the first time, like, you watch the mule go from confidence to shitting himself, and it's kind of brilliant. And the way it's played is great. But whereas season 1 and 2 has had a real lull, this has had a lull, but it hasn't had the lull that the first 2 seasons have had. There has been some slightly slower episodes, but nowhere near that. And what they're doing with the Cleons this time round has been really, really good, like really interesting. Like, Lee Pace has played a completely different version. Whereas he's been the out-and-out bad guy, he's kind of a hippie, naive version in this. And he's just uncovered, like, this robot, these robot worshippers, but there's a lot more to it. And I'm not going to spoil everything, because and I think he's going to end up being the savior, which is great. Again, it's a great twist. The older Cleon, who you kind of have sympathy for, is an absolute fucking maniac. And again, plays it so well. All of them have had a more meaty story to act this season, and the effects in this show, God, it looks gorgeous. I mean, it just and we've gone to more planets. We've seen more of the universe of Foundation this season, and it's just been there's less Gail Dornick, but actually she's been pretty fucking good in this. And again, the focus hasn't been on her. It's much more of an ensemble piece this season. I've really enjoyed it. I've generally thought this is the best season so far. Haven't had a lot of Harry in it, which is kind of a shame. But when he turns up, it's kind of kick-ass, and the wait, you get the payoff. So we're into like the final 2 episodes of season 3. It's genuinely been very, very good. So I'm enjoying that. Invasion is back.
Okay.
Remember that weird European kind of alien invasion series on Apple?
Where they had the black turds.
Yes.
It started off and you thought Sam Neill was going to be in it, and he wasn't.
Yes. Yeah, well, he was for an episode.
That doesn't count.
I don't know what to make of Invasion. The premise is interesting. And, like... When the Japanese bird...
Forget to talk about Invasion. I want to see... Have you watched Amazon's War of the Worlds?
No, because it's the worst movie ever made, apparently. Are you talking about Ice Cube's War of the Worlds? You've watched it, haven't you?
No, I haven't. I've been meaning to watch it because sometimes terrible movies are really entertaining.
Apparently this is not one of them. Apparently, but... No, I haven't. Is the answer.
We should watch it. We should really watch it.
I don't know.
Just if you can't watch it, just take a timestamp of where you stopped watching it, and see if we beat each other for endurance when it comes to watching really shitty films.
I'll tell you what I did watch. I finally watched Karate Kid Legends. Now, I kind of enjoyed it. Was it good? Not really.
No.
But it was... But the characters are likeable. When LaRusso finally turns up, him and Jackie Chan sort of arguing with each other just works. And actually, it's very cheesy. But the characters are likeable. The kid is kind of cool. It's got what's his face from Dawson's Creek, who then was in was it Joshua something? He's in it, and he's quite a likeable character. And there's a cut scene at the end, and it's Danny LaRusso and Johnny, right? And he's in it at the end, right? But it's great, and he has the best thing, right? And it's a silly cameo, but it's great, and it's so Johnny. It's brilliant, right? Obviously, you have got to have seen Cobra Kai, right, to understand why Johnny is in Miyagi-Do, right? But basically, I'm going to ruin it because it's so funny, right? So the kid is trying to help out Joshua What's-His-Face's because he fancies the daughter, and the father owns this pizza shop, right? So to thank Danny LaRusso, they send him a pizza all the way to LA, right? And it was like 100,000. Yeah, anyway. But like Johnny goes, that's it. I've got an idea for a business. We should start a chain of pizza shops, and we should call it Miyagi-Do. Get it? And then he just starts going through like, olives on, olives off. It's brilliant. It's really good. And I just started laughing and went, you know what? It's a cheesy movie. It's a bad movie, but I enjoyed it. It's not as good as Cobra Kai. It's not the cheesy 80s side of Cobra Kai that. But I've heard people say that it's boring or have really slated it, and it's like, if you like Karate Kid, right, and you're a Jackie Chan fan, I defy you not to watch this movie without a smile on your face, because there are moments with Jackie Chan that are just fucking brilliant. Jackie Chan doing stuff, and then there's Jackie Chan fighting Danny LaRusso. It's fucking brilliant. It's bad, but it's kind of good.
Okay.
It's a mess of a movie, right? But the characters are likable, and it's predictable, but it kind of works. And then having Johnny in it at the end just makes the movie. So it's kind of like that little payoff after Cobra Kai, and it works. And because we kind of like Johnny now, having Johnny at the end doing all these, taking all the Karate Kids and just making pizza and allergies of them, it's really funny. And like LaRusso's walked off going, it's really disrespectful. walks off. And then Johnny's going like, olives on, olives off. That's the one that got me.
Okay.
That's the one that made me laugh. It
I'm
doesn't
sure
take
it'll be
itself
on,
seriously. That's the thing. And I
I
think
thought
people... Go on.
I thought that it would probably have been a really good opportunity to have Danny and fucking Johnny turn up and teach them. Here's how you do it defensively. Here's how you do it aggressively. Yeah, mix the two up, get balance.
That's what they do, right? But you don't have Johnny in it. But but having Johnny at the end is a nice little cameo, and it does kind of make the film. But again, if you like the Karate Kid movies, I defy you not to at least have a smile on your face. There's member berries in it. There's lots of those little things in it. But, you know, the kid is likeable. The cast is likeable. It's very predictable. But it's just the right side of bad to be enjoyable, if that makes sense. It's a cheesy movie. There's if you pay attention too much, there's plot holes all over the place, and it's a bit contrived and a bit predictable. But it's Jackie Chan, and if you like Jackie Chan, you're going to smile the minute you see Jackie Chan on screen, right? If you like Danny LaRusso and you like the Karate Kid films, you're going to smile when you see him on screen. And you know, a kid fighting and winning a competition against, you know, a very camp bad guy, it works. I mean, you know, there were episodes of Cobra Kai that are really camp, and we fucking loved it. And it's not as good or as Cobra Kai was, but that last 5 minutes, that cameo with Johnny is fucking fantastic, and I loved it. And again, it makes me smile. You know, at the end of the day, what should a movie do? Make you smile, right? You enjoy it. If you enjoy it, you don't pick holes in it. Could I pick holes in it? Oh, hell yes. I'm not, because I kind of enjoyed it. It's bad, but I enjoyed it. It's an enjoyable bad movie, and it's got Jackie Chan and fucking, you know, Daniel LaRusso in it, so it's awesome. It's awesomely bad.
Awesomely bad. Okay, I'll wait for it to pop up on streaming. I'll watch it on streaming. When it comes up. Okay, so are we going to talk about Deep Space Nine?
Yes, which one are we talking about?
We are talking about past tense. Let me do my little intro. In this episode, we break down Star Trek Deep Space Nine past tense parts 1 and 2 with a spoiler primer first. We're going to review the transporter accident that sends Sisko, Bashir and Dax back to San Francisco 2024, 1 year in our past. Separated by class lines inside Sanctuary District versus outside in corporate comfort, they will collide with a looming crisis of history that they cannot afford to miss. Meanwhile, Kara and O'Brien are bouncing through time in a funny sketch-like comedy skit where they see someone in spats and meet hippies. This is still hits with economic inequality, homelessness, policing, media narratives, the ethics of public order, and the Temporal Prime Directive, which should be the following. The Temporal Prime Directive should be the following: maintain continuity. Yeah, whatever the timeline was before, make sure it stays the same, because if you popped in and you fucked it up, you better put it back. So it starts off with, it's just funny because it was it October 24th, 2024 or something along those lines? Mm-hmm. I found that hugely funny because it was last year and they're talking about riots and I'm like, I've seen riots. He goes, we've seen riots. Actually, it was a couple of years before them, the really bad riots were. And then it's like kind of social thing. This is how you do that kind of story and make it a bit more entertaining. It's funny from their perspective. It was 30 years in the future, so they didn't worry about storyline-wise. The whole thing with, you got Mr. Fetterman from Gremlins in there. That's ironic because we're talking about Gremlins. His character does like a nice turn in it.
Yes.
But it's all around. It's all around. Was it the Bell Riots? They called it. I'm sure it's the Bell Riots. The Bell Riots, where they killed a load of people, and because they killed a load of people and massacred them, it caused them then to change it. And Cisco talks about a guy called Gabriel Bell, who was there to help the thingy, and he made sure the hostages were looked after, and he got killed apparently during the thing. turns out Gabriel Bell as a twist doesn't exist. And Cisco does the correct thing where he goes, I'm Spartacus. And he takes up the role of Gabriel Bell and then, then makes sure everything happens as it should do. And he seems really pissed off that he has to do this. Part of him, it was like, I kind of really wanted to watch what was going to happen. And then you got Zax, yeah? Dax got because she's a woman, yeah? Because she's a woman, she got a fucking easy ride, didn't she? Mm-hmm. Apart from, it's like, what's the moles all down the side of your face? Yeah, let's just get a doctor. That should be seen to. It also featured Clinton Howard, who ironically has been in the original series. He was a kid in the original series, if I remember correctly. I can't remember if it was some weird one with like godlike aliens. I'm sure I can't remember the episode name. I'll probably forget. But as it wasn't, it was interesting and less entertaining, if that makes any sense. I didn't find it as entertaining as the other ones, but it was interesting.
Yeah, I those are not my favourite episodes. I'd forgotten about Past Tense. I thought it was Way of the Warrior, but I'd forgotten about Past Tense. But I watched it recently, so I know everything you're talking about. Yes, it was an interesting couple of episodes. There are very funny moments with like Kira and O'Brien sort of like beaming through history and into the 60s and things like that. That was quite funny. Yeah. I think it was a two-parter that doesn't quite work, but yeah.
There was something that bugged me in it, yeah? It's like kind of... O'Brien figured out how to get the transporters to send them through time because they had background chrono radiation or whatever it was, yeah? So he managed to do that and get the whole thing set up so they could beam back through time. Why didn't he stay on the Defiant in case something went wrong? Because if something went wrong, he's nowhere near a fucking console to fix it. Who's the person? Who's the person doing the transporter? It's fucking Odo. Yep. Odo should have had some engineer then. He should have just nodded at him, and the engineer goes, "Right, Mr. Constable Odo, I will do this." It had it's a edge or City on the Edge of Forever from the original series with Watsumish where she dies. Had that in there, but it was done enough, and it was weird because it took, and it didn't do it because if you'd have done it today, it would have done it in terms of race, yeah, but it did it in terms of class, yeah. You've got the unemployed class over here who are not desired. You've got the ones who want to work, the ones who don't want to work, and the ones that will burn down the whole fucking system.
Deep Space Nine does do a race episode, but it does it in season 6. It then plays on that at the beginning of season 7, but in a very clever way. But Deep Space Nine's race episode is far more hard-hitting, far more apt, right? Would it work today? No, because it would be lost in a load of noise, right? Okay. But it does, if you were... Because Deep Space Nine... Again, because Star Trek was all about hope, not hate, right? Which is something a lot of modern Star Trek writers just do not understand, right? Because they hate half their audience, and that's part of the problem. Because Deep Space Nine was always very hopeful, when it wanted to do race stories or political stories, it did it through the voices of aliens, right? So for racism, you had the Bajorans against the Cardassians, but because Avery Brooks was a big, he was a somebody that believed in, fighting for equal rights and stuff, and he'd lived through a period where he was arguably, treated badly. He directed that episode, which is on in season 6. It is a very hard-hitting episode. Brilliant episode, brilliantly acted, brilliantly directed. It wouldn't work today. But you're right. these 2 episodes, they're okay. There are moments. I do like the guy that starts off, the sort of, the officer or the warden guy, one of the guards, turns off and has he's a bit of a dick. But at the end, has that turnaround, and that works. And it works well. Not my favourite 2 episodes, but there are moments in it that I like. I have slowed down on DS9 mainly so that we can carry on talking about it, and mainly because I'm into season 7 and I'm going to miss it when it's gone. I already missed Jugzia. I mean, I did like Israedat, but I loved Jugzia, and it's just it was the one thing that they fucked up on. They shouldn't have screwed her over, and that was something that Rick Berman did. Not particularly well done by Rick Berman, but anyway. Again,
it's very...
though, go on.
They didn't explain that it was a paradox.
No.
That they invoked the bootstrap paradox, and Doctor Who, Peter Capaldi describes the bootstrap paradox perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's one of those things they needed to tell us that this is paradoxical. I don't think maybe I missed it, but it was.
What Bell gets killed? The real Bell gets killed because of a fight that Cisco has with somebody, and that's why the real Bell gets killed, and Cisco has to carry on. There is an episode early on in season 4. Where the 2-3, which recreates the Roswell landing, except the Roswell spacecraft was Quark, Odo, and Nog and Rom, which I love. And Nog, I think it's either Rom or Nog goes, this looks a bit like, it goes Bell, and he goes, that looks a bit like Cisco, doesn't it? I love it's one of the only little paybacks to an episode, because Star Trek's very good at forgetting what happened before, although Deep Space Nine doesn't. Deep Space Nine is actually very good at remembering what came before. But, I mean, since we started Deep Space Nine, you were so right. It's the best Star Trek series. It is.
Yep. You know why? Because it's based on B5.
Never going to let that one go. But
right. Well,
right.
they settled out of court, and he never got his fucking Bible back after he took it to Paramount. Can I have a Bible back? What do you mean you're doing Deep Space Nine? What the fuck you be doing? That's typical. I need it to be my show, but hey, these things happen. But it was, I think that's my baseline for Star Trek, just because he had enough aliens in it to take you away from the squeaky cleanness of the Federation. Because I'm not a big fan of that squeaky cleanness of the Federation. And that's something, and it felt a bit frontiersy. And then there was some nice big space battles, and you had Garak. You got the best villain is Golden Cot in the entire bloody Star Trek canon. There's not a villain better than him. I know that Kai Wynn, if Biffa brings it up, Kai Wynn is their Dolores Umbridge, but she wasn't around enough in comparison to Golden Cot.
I hate Kai Wynn. I hate.
It's funny because I watched that past tense, and an episode after was a Kai Wynn episode. And literally she got off and I went, oh, fuck, not you. It was like, no, fuck, not you. No, she is their Dolores Umbridge. She's what's lawful evil.
Yes.
I think is the way you describe her. She does it all within the rules, but she is evil and she'll twist everything to her needs. But I will watch the next one. What's the next one? Is it Way of the Warrior?
I think it is Way of the Warrior next. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So,
I'll watch Way of the Warrior.
Yes, thank you, ladies and gents, for sticking with us. And as always, thank you to everyone in the comments. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye, guys.
He doesn't wait for me to press the button.